My name's Madison Webb. I'm 17 years old and I'm a senior at Schenectady High School.
Where are you from?
I'm from Florida, and then I was born in Clearwater, and we moved to Schenectady 2014, and I've been here since 2014.
Why'd you all run away from Florida?
Because of my parents, who no longer had custody of me and my siblings. I'm in the custody of my grandmother.
Do you mind me asking why your grandmother has custody of you all and not your parents?
My parents are felons and they do drugs, and yeah, that tends to be how that goes.
Yeah, I suppose a felon would be allowed to have their children. How many siblings do you have at home?
2. One older sister, one younger sister.
What do you do for fun at home?
I do art, like I paint stuff. I painted my friend's sketchbook. I play games sometimes, listen to music, have a keyboard in my room, play that sometimes.
Do you have any general likes or dislikes?
Like as a whole?
As a whole, like you already said things you like doing, but do you have anything you dislike doing or things you dislike about people, things you like about people?
I mean, yeah, I don't like when people walk slow. Like, disrespectfully. Like, just stay off to the side if you're gonna walk slow. Like, people who walk in a big group and walk really slow. Like, walk in a straight line, please.
Are you religious?
No.
How do you typically get to and from school?
My grandma drives me.
Is it a long drive?
It's like 15 minutes.
How long have you been going to Schenectady High School?
All 4 years.
In these 4 years being in this building, do you have any thoughts or likes/dislikes about the building itself?
The layout is really weird. Like the layout in DB is very confusing. I don't get why rooms aren't numbered in order. But I also feel like just the way things are like spread out is awkward. Like how we have the gym, you can only go through that one hallway to get through the gym unless you cut through the cafeteria, but they won't let you cut through the cafeteria. I feel like there should be more ways to get to the gym with all the space that we have in the building.
Do you feel like they make good use of the courtyards that we have?
No, I have never been in the courtyard ever, actually, and I think it would be a good space to do things in.
Are you referring to the courtyard in the cafeteria or just courtyards around the building, such as B Wing, A Wing, and front library?
I've been in the cafeteria one a few times, but I've never been in any of the other ones, like ever, actually.
If you could change 3 things or just simply improve the building, what would you do?
I would make the transitions less huge. I feel like there's got to be a better way that we can break up the bell schedule, that the hallways aren't so congested. I would probably have the bathrooms fixed and cleaned more often, because the bathroom down by the gym still does not have paper towels in it, the girls' bathroom, at all, even though it didn't have paper towels before we went on break. And I don't know, the sink in there is broken. Like it was just running and wouldn't stop running earlier.
So there's as we speak, there's possibly a sink that's flowing.
Yes, it was just running.
And in terms of paper towels, you don't have a paper towel dispenser in there, or you have a paper towel dispenser that is empty?
It's empty. The only way you can get paper towels is if you get them from the wall outside the boys' bathroom. So that's why everyone takes paper towels from there.
So, but you have a towel dispenser in there?
Yes, and it functions, it just doesn't have any paper towels in it.
In that same boys' bathroom, I'll have you know, there is no paper towel dispenser, and we use the one outside.
Intriguing.
Intriguing, yeah. Do you have a third thing?
I mean, you did speak upon courtyards. I feel like we could use those more. I'm not sure how we would use them effectively, because you do need Wi-Fi for the Chromebooks and stuff. So how that would function, I'm unsure.
In your time of going here for 4 years, you've experienced hall checks, hall sweeps, escort only, phone boxes.
Phone prisons.
What are your thoughts on these policies?
I dislike them. I see the purpose of trying to get the school to reform and like get everyone where they're supposed to be so that we are on track, kids are doing what they need to, and everybody's graduating. But I feel the percentage of kids not behaving versus the percentage of kids that are behaving is very drastic. We're a huge school. There's like what, 2,000 of us here, and there's like 200 not behaving, maybe like 1,500, 2,000 might be.
I think we're
overselling.
roughly like
Or are we bigger?
I think we're smaller. I feel like we're like 850.
No.
I could be wrong. I think that's the number I heard from staff. I think it's like 850.
I think we're way bigger than that. We should look that up.
Maybe it's 850 freshmen.
Probably, because our building is huge. But we have a lot of kids here, and there's only a few that aren't behaving, and I personally have never been a kid that doesn't behave. I go to class, I've never skipped a class, I haven't been suspended, I haven't had ISS, and I already have anxiety. Like, I'm on 2 different types of anxiety medications, so going to the bathroom without escort only was already hard enough because it's a public bathroom and I have to interrupt class and ask to go to the bathroom, which I also think is silly because I feel like if you are behaving how you're supposed to, there should be a system where you can just go to the bathroom. It's not like I'm destroying the building. I'm taking usually max like 4 minutes to use the restroom. It doesn't take that long. I feel like there should be a system in place where students who do what they're supposed to consistently can just go to the bathroom. But the idea of escort only makes me really nervous, so I only go to the bathroom on my way to lunch, which I feel like already puts me at an unfair advantage compared to everyone else in the building. And I think they need to take in more feedback from students rather than just attacking the entire building over the students that aren't behaving. I feel like there's a better solution to a lot of these issues.
Do you feel like that they're changing escort only by giving us stickered passes for students that do behave, such as yourself, to be able to use the bathroom like how it was before? You would still have to ask for a pass, of course, but you won't be called down for an escort.
I think that would work better if it was like an ID thing. Like, you know,
Like an ID badge on your ID.
yeah, because they check them anyway. They want you to have them in the hallway when you're going to the bathroom, which is also kind of annoying because I don't want to grab it to go to the bathroom, but
Do you feel like that certain policies could be fixed?
absolutely.
How would you fix them?
Well, like I said, we could use the bathroom thing, but I also think we should get rid of escort only and just keep hall sweeps and bring back passes. I liked when we had the colored passes. I think that was working fine because they broke up the building into different sections. Like, the only issue we had with colored passes was they don't keep up on the bathrooms. So when the bathroom gets closed, you can't go to the bathroom in the section you're supposed to go to the bathroom. But I think that was working better than this is because honestly, I think kids are behaving less now out of retaliation because they don't feel respected. Because I feel like it's gotten worse than it used to be.
So you feel like that the change to escort only is, some students may interpret it as disrespectful, and because of that, that's why there's been a upscale in people skipping and
I wouldn't say
or
that
squawking out the
totally.
bathroom.
Skipping is definitely their choice. They're gonna make their choices regardless. But I do feel some kids are behaving less because they feel disrespected, and I do think there's probably a better way to run it.
Another policy that's not too talked about is the attendance policy. Do you have any feelings about that?
I dislike the attendance policy because I think it's unfair to chronically ill students. You can hear it right now, I'm sick, and this exact time last month I was sick. I have a neurologist and I've had to go there a few times, and I'm on 2 different types of anxiety medication. I have a lot of follow-ups with my doctor frequently, and I'm basically sick all the time. Just some days I feel more up to doing things than others. Like, I have chronic pain, like I have issues with my joints and stuff. It's just difficult all around as a whole. So I end up missing a lot of school on certain days because I just can't make it. Like, if I did make it, I wouldn't be productive because I just don't feel good. So I would stay home, and I have good grades. Last quarter I had straight A's in every department. And I have college courses this year as well, so it's like I'm doing well in school, but because of their policy, I can't go to certain events because I don't have the attendance they want for you to go. Like, I'm nervous that I won't get to go to my senior prom because I don't have the right attendance for it, even though I'm a good student, I have good grades, and I think that's unfair to kids who are literally in pain and sick all the time.
So you believe it should be changed to reflect any combination of attendance and grades, or just grades to go to events such as prom or Valentine's dances, football games?
I think it should be more of grades and behavior than it should attendance. I think the only time attendance should come into play like that is maybe if kids are not going to their classes but they're showing up to participate in like sports events. Like if you're on like, I don't know, the basketball team or the football team, or you're in swim and you're not going to class but you're going to events, I think that's when attendance should come into play. But when it's things like school dances or like prom is big in a lot of people's lives. It's a big event for many people. If you have good grades and you behave at school but you are chronically absent because of an illness, I think you should be allowed to go to prom.
I see where you're coming from, but do you think that, because from my understanding actually, attendance, at least for football games and stuff like that, now provides a discount instead of a, can or cannot go, from my understanding. I could be wrong on that.
Well, I did bring this up last year, so they could have improved it somewhat, but I feel if they did improve it, they need to advocate that more, because that's another issue I feel we have in the building, is that information's not getting out at the rate it should be. Everyone has different information on everything. Nothing is consistent. You can ask one staff member a question, they'll give you an answer, and you can ask a different staff member and they'll give you a totally different answer. Communication is completely out of whack in the entire building.
Do you think that the TVs would be a better way to communicate if they were being used, I'll say properly? I believe that highlighting certain students for their success, if they're okay with it, obviously, which they are, otherwise the school won't be allowed to do that. But if you highlight a student for their good deeds, and then like you take the pictures of everyone participating in Spirit Week with either their Halloween costumes or them wearing pajamas to school, should be shown on TV, but also announcements such as today is the football game, or in 5 weeks we're gonna have a football game. Stuff like that. You feel like TV should be used to spread information? I
think the TVs as a whole were kind of a waste because our passing time is really short. When I'm walking to class, I don't have time to stop in a crowded hallway, mind you, to look at a TV. I don't know why we have those. I feel like the best course of action would be for the school to improve their website, because if you go to the homepage on the Schenectady High website, it is a complete mess. Like, there's just links everywhere, nothing is clear answers again. And I feel like if they reformed the website and had a bulletin board per se, where they put information of upcoming events that were easy to find, because when you open the Schenectady High website, the first thing that pops up is a slideshow, which wonderful that we're highlighting our students, but you need to get to information. And then if you scroll down, it's just really confusing. And it's more formatted for a computer than it is a phone, which I feel not many students are checking for information on a computer during the day.
I feel like it's mostly that, and phones are definitely more viable than computers. A good computer, or any computer, unless you're using your school Chromebook, are mostly like $1,000, and not everyone has a computer. Actually, technically, I guess everyone does have a computer, the school Chromebook, but I suppose they would want to look on their phone.
And it should be more formatted towards phones as well, because it's not just students, but parents would like to get information too. And it's just so much more convenient to use a phone than it is to hunt down a computer.
Do you take any special classes, like, I don't know, maybe band or chorus?
Okay, I specialize in music courses. I take a lot of music courses. But I have a full schedule every day. As a senior, I decided to do a full schedule because it looks better for college, first off, but also I just like to be busy. I don't like not having things to do. So on days like today, I start with business, which is a dual enrollment course. I get college credit for that. And then I go to piano, and then I have gym, and then lunch, and then I go to IB Music, which is a block, and then I go to economics. And if, say we were to have school tomorrow, which we don't because tomorrow's a Saturday, but if we did have school tomorrow, I would start with drumming, and then I would go to piano, and then I would have music production. I would go to Avid. Avid is split with lunch, so we come back, and then I go to English, which is a dual enrollment course. Also, I get college credit for English.
Before I ask you about your musical career, I feel like a lot of schools around the world, because I never heard of a block before until I came to Santee High School. Well, actually, when I first came here, they were being put in place. But could you explain to everyone what a block is?
So a block is like a 90-minute class. It's an hour, around an hour and a half, and a mod is a 45-minute class, so it's like a block split in half.
Great. Do you want to explain how blocks originally were during like your sophomore year?
That was when they started?
Yeah, when they started, like when almost every class was an hour and a half.
It was just blocks basically the whole day. It was 4 classes a day, and then we'd switch, and it'd keep going back and forth. And it was horrible, and I hated it.
There was a protest there, right? We had a protest.
A big protest. Huge
only
walkout.
one big protest. It's not how things get done. So, how long have you been playing piano?
Since freshman year.
Do you enjoy playing the piano? Is that why you keyboard has?
Yes, I enjoy playing the piano.
Would you call yourself a pianist?
I would say so, yes, but I would like to be more skilled than I am. And I do feel the schedule had a part in that because I spoke on being chronically ill, but also when we had blocks, I only had piano like once a week. It was once every 4 days. So if I missed a piano class and it was a block, I missed a lot. So I was not making progress at the rate that I should be because you miss a class, that's the only piano class for a week. Sometimes you'll get lucky and have 2 in a week. But that's the only piano class for a whole week. You have the weekend, you come back, and then you'll have piano. And it's hard to retain skills when it's such a big break in between, and it's not consistent practicing every day.
What do you do in IB Music?
So IB Music, the coursework is a lot because it is an IB course. Currently, we're working on an analysis of 3 pieces where you have to make your own personal composition from a song in your personal playlist. You have to transpose a global song, like something that's not from Western music, and transpose it to an instrument of your choice, whether that's digitally or on a piano, whatever you play. And you have to write about a local artist that originates from here in some sort, and we have to have the transposition and the composition embedded along with screenshots, and that has to be 2,500 words. We have to do 3 experiments soon, and there's 4 areas of inquiry that you have to hit throughout the whole course. So you have to cover digital music, you have to cover music for entertainment purposes like theater and stuff. There's one for socio-cultural issues like protests and stuff. The 4th one is slipping my mind right now because it is a lot to go through. We cover it almost every class. We're going over what we need to do because it's just a lot of stuff throughout the year. I have to have 12 minutes of recording by the end of the year. That can include digital compositions though, so that's helpful as someone who takes production too.
What's music production like?
Music production is very free. You basically go in there, it's independent work, and you have access to GarageBand or Logic. There's headphones, there's MIDI keyboards. We also have a live recording studio if you have booked time in the live recording studio to do things like lyrics. You have access to loops, and you just make your own beats and your own music. It's really entertaining. We're working on a remix right now. That's pretty fun.
Are you part of any clubs?
Not currently. That was another thing that I was trying to figure out about the school website is where clubs are located, because apparently there was a list of clubs that got released, but no one had the list. But that was last year, so I don't know if they updated that yet. I would hope so.
Would you have to start any clubs?
Well, I wouldn't know what clubs to start because I don't know what clubs we have because I can't get to the list. Maybe something music related would be fun.
here's a really out there one. What are your thoughts on the school lunch?
Oh. I personally don't eat it too often, just because I'm not a big fan of most of the options they have. When I do end up eating here, it's usually pizza because I like consistency and not one to venture out there and try something new. But most of the stuff I did try, it's not like the worst, but it's not great either. So it's only like if I'm actually really hungry and feel like I need to eat something here, then I will.
Have you ever had the spicy chicken patty?
No.
Do you have a favorite or least favorite staff member?
This is such a hard question. Oh my god. I get along with a lot of my teachers. I really appreciate my teachers. They're amazing. But it has to be Miss Van Ostrand. I've had her for 2 years. She's my avid teacher. And she is the sweetest lady I have met in this building in my life. And she's inspired me a lot. She's the reason I'm so open in the first place. I used to be very introverted and quiet. I wouldn't participate in groups or do presentations. And she just took that and she completely like flipped me upside down. It was like, here you go, new person. And she's just so sweet. Like, she decorates her room for the holidays and she has snacks that she hands out, and just everything she does is for the good of the students. And I think she's just so awesome and I love her.
But you don't have a least favorite teacher?
A least favorite teacher in this building? I don't.
They don't have to be like, oh, they're the worst teacher ever. These, out of all your favorite teachers, your least favorite teacher.
I don't know. I mean, I can't even speak on freshman year because we were virtual that year, so I wasn't close with any of my teachers really, except for Miss Gain. Miss Gain's cool. But I don't have like a least favorite teacher. I have least favorite subjects.
But you don't have a least favorite staff member?
Not really, no.
So since you have no real negative feelings towards any staff members, what are your thoughts on our head principal, Mr. Green?
Mr. Green is funny. He's Mr. Green, but we had an email interaction about his attendance policy that didn't go the greatest, because it wasn't that he wasn't cooperating, he was listening to what I was saying, but the issue is I had really bad social anxiety at the time. I wasn't on anything for my anxiety, and he kept wanting to meet in his office, and I didn't want to do that, so we were never able to compromise on that issue. But I do think Mr. Green has a good connection with the students. He's able to get to know people on a more personal level than I've seen with principals at other buildings, besides my middle school principal. Shout out Mr. Coleman.
But you feel like overall Mr. Green's a pretty cool dude, and you would
Yeah, I
understand
just
why.
think it's the policies, but Mr. Green doesn't have total control over the policies. It more comes from the superintendent, and we kind of have to find a workaround for everybody in the building. But it's just difficult as someone who struggles with illness to connect with authority figures, I feel.
But you can understand why some policies are in place, though, and why you have
Yes, I see the vision of like everything they want to put in place. I just dislike how we're going about putting them in place.
How do you think Mr. Green as a principal could improve?
I would say, that's a difficult question. I don't want to like say anything too out there.
It's just ideas.
I feel like more feedback from the students would be helpful.
That's mostly what this is about. Of course, I've not been told by Mr. Green to interrogate students.
Interrogate? Oh goodness.
But yeah, you feel like more feedback. You feel like Mr. Green getting more feedback from students about their ideas on policies and stuff like that.
Yes, he listens to feedback, but I think there should be like, more taking of the feedback, like using the feedback, not just listening to the feedback.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about the building, teachers,
No,
staff?
really, no.
All right then. Madison, it was a pleasure interviewing you. Thank you for your time.
Wonderful.